On a totally off random thought, I'm fucking matching the chair again. Are we just gonna do it? No pre-chat, just welcome to Frequency Broads. I mean, if the episode is fuck around and find out, we might as well just go for it.
I'm ready to go for it.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Frequency Broads. Today, well, we don't really have a topic. We're going to fuck around and find out what comes through. It's been kind of a crazy day for sure, but also a crazy week. So, we've been trying to anchor in a very specific topic, and they kept giving us a whole bunch of different directions to go. So, we're going to just attempt to fuck around and find out what comes through. So, welcome.
Welcome indeed. If you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed, hit that whatever notification bell. What do the kids say? No, but for real, like us if you like us. And if you don't, that's okay too. I am so excited to share our freak check for today because we are both on one. We're recording this on the Aquarius new moon, well, the eve of.
Yeah.
We are also about to sit in ceremony together and
So excited.
welcome in the year of the dragon together.
And have dragons been coming into the field heavy? All right, so
It's been wild.
freak check, and I want to warn, my freak check might be a little long because I just have to tell you about today. It is fucking crazy. So I'm gonna let you go first, Victoria. How you feeling?
I was thinking mine was going to be long too. So
The whole episode is just a freak check.
I'm just going to dig right into it. So I, several months ago, mentioned that I was seeing a man, and then I caught him on a dating app after he told me that we were monogamous, and basically so much stuff came out like Monday morning, and I just started a new job. So there's like mega changes happening in my life. And needless to say, he has been blocked, deleted, removed, just like eliminated from my field. And my time with him taught me so much. But what I'm about to go through over the next week or so of clearing his energy out of my field, out of my system, out of my womb, out of my heart, out of my brain, literally just like, I am really excited for this practice in this sick and twisted way because I'm like, I'm good at it. Like, and honestly, like this lifetime for me has been one of many endings. And as much as I want to be in partnership, I do want to be in partnership. So, I mean, I'm just taking whatever experience as it comes with grace and ease. And I'm ultimately just really proud of myself for how I've shown up. There's so many nasty little things I wanted to, could have done. And I'm like, whew, hell no. Like, just thank you for the blessings of finding out the truth. And it was the biggest lesson in doubting my intuition or not listening to my intuition. And I knew it. Everyone knew it. I mean, and we're not going to go there. I'm like, I don't even want to look at you.
I'm like, don't make a face, but I'm making the biggest face ever.
I know. I'm like, but it's okay because you know what? We all go through that. We all have relationships where we're learning something, and we watch our friends go through that too. And
Absolutely.
so, you know, I feel really good. And mostly because I feel like I mourned the relationship like a month ago. Like I already could feel it ending. And it's always sad because with men like this, it's like you want to warn other women, and you want to just like put out that big like here's the issue, right? Like he's charming, but he'll literally suck your precious energy because he's addicted to the dopamine, he's addicted to all the things. Like he's literally like a human walking human red flag. But still, other than that, I mean, here's the thing. I am so proud of myself for my ability to love after betrayal, after heartache, after just like enduring the most painful lessons or experiences. So I'm just like feeling really good and strong in my heart, and even more so tapped into my
Mm.
intuition. Um, so the best is yet to come, right?
Mm. And your new job?
My new job is really wonderful. I resonate with everyone I work with, and it feels really good and supported and um, supported. Like, does that make
Supportive.
sense?
Supportive, right?
All right. Cut, clip. So I don't know, this whole year of the dragon about to start on February 10th, or it already did start because this is coming out on the 15th. Um, I am a dragon. I was born in, well, do I want to say what year I was born? Pretty cool year, I have to say. But it is wild how much dragonness is coming through, and I feel it in my like I just I'm really excited to tap into this energy with you this weekend, Tara.
Mm.
Okay. I want to carry on. So give me your freak checks. I know you have some stories for
Okay,
us.
I just need to tell you about this crazy fucking day. Okay. So, first of all, since apparently in my freak check I tell you what phase I am in my menstrual cycle. So I got my period yesterday. So I was kind of anticipating being like really low energy, maybe like kind of cranky. I get really frustrated my first day or like second day. Um, but I woke up and I was kind of feeling like whatever. Your girl got. First off, the first thing that happened well, oh god, I can't even keep track. The first thing that happened today was I got, okay? I did the classic thing where you see one post on Instagram and you're like, "Truth." So I see this post on Instagram. I can't even believe myself. And it says, like, I shouldn't fucking know this for real. Like, first of all, I'm a teacher, but I'm in the spiritual world. Like, come on, girl. It said that tonight on February 8th that you'd be able to see it was a reflective moon, which meant that there would be two moons in the sky. First of all, there's a new fucking moon. So there's no moon in the sky. And second of all, what? When have we ever seen two moons in the sky? Like, talk about me going into the new earth. Like, I guess new earth has two moons. I don't know. So
I felt that when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that one.
everyone felt it
I
was
really
so true because I think I mentioned this on the pod before, but I'm in a new position where I'm like actively running my school. Um,
it. She's running the whole shebang. It's pretty baller.
and so at morning meeting today in front of the entire school, K to eighth grade, and the teachers, I said, guys, you're never going to believe it. Tonight is a double moon. I tell the whole fucking school about this double moon that is not true. And I said, I've done no research. I have no idea how this is true. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see it because of the clouds, but you should try to see it tonight. I don't even know. Maybe we can't see it because we're in Portland. Who knows? So I start the day off by kind of declaring it's a two moon day. Now, let me tell you, it fucking felt like a two moon day. When I check in with my students, we do two words for how we're feeling. My two words were fever dream. That's what today has felt like, a straight up fever dream. All the kids were like sick, not really. Half of them just wanted to go home. Then I literally, when I tell you, I was physically running from one end of the school to the other, just like bump, 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 taking care of shit, running here, running there. I took a little sparkle. I've been taking a little microdose sometimes. That little sparkle has fucking saved my life because I was able to just laugh. And the thing is, sometimes the kids get crazy and it becomes really annoying because they're just like getting really crazy and in each other's face. Today, it was just like chaos on such like a silly and innocent level, but yet a fever dream. Like out of nowhere, these kids who are normally like super calm were just coming up to me and being like, 877 cash now. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? It was just so fucking weird. And now I start getting, and I keep saying, it's the two moons. That's why you're double crazy. I'm telling everyone the fucking two moons. And then it gets to the point where I'm in class and we're doing, for the 8th grade, we're doing a study on self-awareness. So we're doing a bunch of different personality tests. So we're doing the Enneagram test, and I can't get through the first question. The first question was like, do you agree with this statement of, I feel successful in everything that I do and I'm confident in myself? I was laughing so hard. I read that sentence 10 times. I started crying laughing. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm not okay. I don't know what's going on. I need you guys to be my rock cuz I'm losing it right now." Then I teach yoga on Thursdays to the students, and I usually have 5. Today I had 3 cuz 2 were out sick. And where when I've taught before, I've kind of had a plan going in. Now every flow is intuitive based on what their check-in is. So everyone's check-in was like, I'm feeling kind of excited, but also kind of weird. And like this duality of 2 moons that everyone was holding. So we did a very like cathartic movement, like dance style, where it was like very minimal poses and more just like movement to the beat of the music. And then I took them through, and this is the last piece of the story because I can go on forever, but I won't. I took them through a CRC. Have I talked about a CRC on the pod yet?
What does it stand for?
Clear, raise, connect.
No, I
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
Maybe.
I
No, keep going. Tell us. Tell us.
Regardless, I'll tell you anyway. This is a technique that Kari taught me. And I was like, you know what? I just feel like I want to try it with the kids because I take them through visualization meditations at the end and then we check in. So the concept of CRC is you clear your mind, you raise your vibration, and you connect to whoever it is you're connecting. First thought rules, follow the breadcrumbs, then you clear your mind. You do that a couple of times, right? So we move through this whole thing. We barely get to a moment of stillness, but I was like, I'm just going to use it as a form of like that energy we built up instead of coming down to ground. Like, let's just rise up. So I started with them laying down and explaining that we're electromagnetic beings and imagine that there's circuits going through and pay attention to the circuits in your body. Are they lighting up fast? Is it slow? How bright? Where is it going? Its direction, yada, yada. And then I'm like rapid fire. I'm like, okay, now we're going to clear our brain. Breathe in, clear out. Okay, nothing. Raise it, raise. And I was like shaking my hands. I'm like, you're getting higher, you're getting higher, you're getting higher. Vibration, connect. Right. And I had them pick an ethereal being. I was like, let's just fucking go full for it. I'm like, whoever you want to call, dragons, guides, angels, like whatever. I had them connect twice with first thought rules. And third was ask a question. We reflect after. They all got the same thing.
No way.
Relatively. So the first girl goes and she goes, so I called in, I forget what actual mythical creature, but kind of like a griffin, I think, like
Griffin.
something
I was
bird.
gonna. I was actually gonna start saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something with bird feathers. And she said, the first thing I saw was my dog. Second thing I saw was cake. The question was, how do you keep your feathers so shiny? And he said he had a special shampoo. The question one was different for everyone. But
Okay,
then
love that.
the second girl goes and she goes, well, that's kind of weird. She's like, I don't want to I don't want to share the question I asked and the answer, but I'll share the other 2 things. She goes, I called in a dragon. So the first thing I got was my cat. The second thing I got was a cake. And I went, wow. And I got full body chills. I go, wow, guys, that's crazy. You probably were on the same phone call. You were on the same line. And the third girl goes, okay, well, I'm just going to say that the first thing I got was a pickle, which I was like, okay, off topic, but food. She's like, the second was my cat. And then she called in her cat. That's who she called in. So she said the second was love. And then the question I asked was why love? And she said, and it showed all the memories of me and my cat. And that's why they said love.
Aw.
But I was like, your pet and food, 2, which were cake. I was just like, this is some fucking, it was just weird to just like throw them in. And we were
Wow.
moving so fast. Like I was like, raise, 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 connect, hold it, breathe. And then we like did like some square breaths to like hold it in. It was just like such a fucking weird energy situation today.
I love that. Calling
So
into
I've
the
been
same channel. We do that all the
literally,
time. So I
I
love that
know.
kids are learning this.
And when I was like shaking my hands and I'm like, your energy's getting higher, I'm watching their like feet twitch. I'm like, come on, raise it. I was like, get your energy sparking so fast, go. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Like I was just like moving so fucking fast. And like, some of them were like, I like that. And the other one was like, I don't know, I didn't like it as much as your like slow visualizations and meditations. Like that seems deeper to me. And I'm like, it's fine. Like we're just testing things out and seeing what we like. But it was so crazy to have them, especially on a day like today with 2 moons, because apparently there's 2 moons, for it to lock in like that and for the three of them to channel the same messages, even though they were calling in 3 different guides: the griffin, the dragon, and the cat, and their cat.
Which same in some ways.
That's what I'm saying. So that's my freak check. I guess I'm feeling fever dream.
Yeah. I love all of that so much.
I also, as a side note, I have this little, can you hear that? Is that loud? Okay. I have
Okay, here's the thing about you, Tara, and everyone else. She does not like to listen to ASMR, but she makes everyone else listen to her do ASMR sounds.
in case you were wondering. Yeah. I just want to show you some little things that I have with me today because some of
Ooh,
them are
yeah,
new.
share.
So I have this obsidian black tiny little sphere for those who aren't watching. This was significant in one of my meditations from Magdalene a couple weeks ago. Um, I also have this, which is snakeskin something that my friend Darren just got me, and it looks like snakeskin. And then I have 2 other crystals, but then my school is giving out these tiny little golden. Let me see if I can hold it in a way that you can see. Little dragon pendants.
Cute.
So I have my little tools with me today. Because I'm like, if we're fucking and finding out, I better have some shit just in case I need to tap in or something. All right,
Fucking
that's
and
my
finding
freak
out.
check. That's my freak check. It's fucking crazy. A little fever dream. Mm-mm-mm.
um, well, it's crazy that cake came through because that was something I got to talk to the other woman that the man I was seeing was cheating on me with. And she kept talking about like having his cake and eating it too, and how I was like the piece of cake that he had lost. And so
Mm.
I've also been thinking of cake in that regard. And
The sweetness of life is on its way.
I mean, I am the sweetness of life.
Okay, I'll let the kids know. This is what you were actually channeling was Victoria.
Oh, please. I'm like, honestly, though, I hope that those kids never have to experience what I experienced because people will be evolved enough to not lie. And it's
I
so,
doubt that.
I know. Well, hey, it's wishful thinking for humanity over here.
Hope, not expectation.
I mean, kids growing up in Portland, like they're being poly, I think is going to be like way more norm than, which is wild because Tara and I are both very monogamous creatures. So yeah, it's interesting when you can't be honest with yourself about what you want.
Hmm.
And I really do feel sorry for anyone who has to like perpetually lie to themselves in order to like get a thrill or like have it's like almost this like distraction from yourself in a way where your mind is always making up scenarios, and then like how someone like jumps back and forth, or like obviously they always get caught because it's insane to like jump from these realities in your mind, which is also interesting because we always talk about timeline jumping and like living in
Mm-hmm.
these like parallel dimensions, and then to see it happen in such a low vibrational lack of integrity way, it's just really, I think, detrimental to everyone involved because um it's just icky.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully the kids, I truly believe that there will always be people who lie and avoid and deal with that because that's a part of human duality. But I think the difference is they're learning so much sooner, or at least in my case, I'm teaching them so much sooner that that's
Yeah.
not okay. so that way they can stop and say, "Oh shit, actually that wasn't cool," right? Like we have a whole like couple of lessons on emotional manipulation, so it's just like, what does that really mean? And then being able to hold space for them to speak their truth. Actually yesterday, yeah, did you have something?
No, I'm just
Oh,
like,
you were
yep,
like, yeah,
speak their
yeah.
truth.
Like
Good.
yesterday, not to speak the tea of the people, but I work with middle schoolers, and middle schoolers are moving much faster than they used to. And even some middle schoolers, when we were growing up the same, had these experiences sexually or whatever. And I'm seeing a lot of them recognize sooner that that didn't feel right. And because they're able to talk to an adult like myself, and that adult, like, not be a therapist where they need to be like, well, how does that make you feel? And blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just like, that's fucked up. I'll fuck them up in the parking lot. What do you mean? Like, I literally told these kids once, I was like, I'm gonna call his mom because this isn't okay, but I want to be calling him to the parking lot right now, 4 o'clock. I'll tell you that. Mm-mm. But now when they have this space, right? I had someone yesterday, I put them they've been working through this and they didn't want to say anything in the beginning. They like vaguely said it and they were like, it's been eating me alive. I have to say something. And because I was able to give them that power, not only did they say it in a calm, collective way and be able to say, I don't hate you. I just want to be your colleague. And I don't think I could ever trust you or look at you that way. But they also were able to turn around and say, and don't victimize yourself. Don't give yourself a pity party. I'm the victim. You don't get to be the victim. And I was like, oh, fuck
Mm,
yes. Like, yes. And, both of them, I said, look, it's a learning point. You guys are young. It's okay. Like, you did the best you could and we made mistakes. Now we need to learn from them. Never do this again. Here's like whatever, XYZ. And I was able to
yeah.
tell the other one, thank you for being here because you just aided in their healing because they were able to get that off their chest.
That's so beautiful. I've been thinking about the victim mentality. It's just as bad as being the perpetrator because it's just the other end of the spectrum.
Hmm.
And through what I've been going through, I've been really cognizant and not trying to play the victim.
Well, I'm glad you're not playing the victim because I've been thinking a lot about how, and I'm not saying you weren't a victim because you were, but when we identify as the victim, all we're doing is still living in that reality. Whereas when we can say,
Exactly.
right, when we can say, I have been victimized. Wait, is that the right word?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. I have been victimized. I have been a victim, but I am not, and I am no longer and will no longer be a victim. I will use this as a learning point. I will move forward from it, and I will not continue to relive the story of saying, I'm a victim to this, because then guess what? You're a victim to it. And then we are living in the reality of being a victim, which
And then,
will
yep.
attract more opportunities for you to be a victim. So it's honoring what you've gone through. It's releasing what you've gone through and saying, thank you for what I've gone through, for teaching me that I don't need to be the victim any longer.
And bye bye.
Goodbye.
And then hello to whoever else is going to step into my life next. I'm excited to meet you. I'm
Me
already
too.
flirting with them.
You're like, you see this shoulder? You
Well,
like this
single Victoria is so much
shoulder?
more fun. I felt like I was being like controlled and like having to prove how loyal I was. I was like, oh yeah, that's because you were cheating on me. Duh. So I
Let's
don't
put a
know.
pin
I
in
just
that real quick. Single Victoria is not more fun. It's Victoria in her full essence, not being squashed, is more fun. You could be just as fun in a relationship if it was a fucking healthy one. Being squashed.
what she said.
Shall we? Because I felt it in you and I feel it in me. You mentioned the year of the dragon and you were like, well, hold on, finish your freak check. Dragons. Shall we talk a little dragon?
I want to talk a lot of dragon.
I want to talk a lot of dragon. Other things that have been coming into my field is the concept of the Matrix. Not the movie, because I ain't never seen it. um,
I
and
haven't
not the
either.
maybe we should, and not the concept of needing to leave programming that isn't serving us, but the legit simulation we enter on Earth purposely. So that's been coming to me. But I want to talk dragons. Let's do it. Dragon, dragon. I almost
Wait, so
tried to
of
make a
course,
dragon
wait,
sound.
the Matrix has obviously been coming to me too, right?
Of
And
course,
I've
of
been thinking a
course.
lot about characters in our lives and when they come in for however long, like they signed up to play that role in your life. And so when you start to like not necessarily be the casting director of your life, but let the characters kind of play whatever role they're meant to play, like you can still kind of cut them as the casting director, where you're like, you're not going to appear in this scene with me any longer.
Oof, yes.
So, yeah, I've just been because I saw this whole situation play out. Like I already and you one could argue, oh, I manifested this because I saw or because I was envisioning me posting a photo of us to Instagram and then some a mutual friend saying, oh, he's dating my friend. Like I had a gut feeling that that was going to happen. Did I create that? Or did I have a vision of it from the future? I mean, that's all subjective, but I really genuinely don't feel like I created that. And if I did, it was a blessing for me to just find out in that way because that was going to be perhaps the only way that I was going to be able to say goodbye. So
Mm.
seeing it, and I'm like, if that's the case, damn, this was such an intricate scene. Like if I helped to write this when we were laying out our our soul contract, I'm like, damn, I deserve a fucking Emmy.
An
But
Oscar.
or a Grammy. I'm like,
Honestly, I
I
don't
digress.
know.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, you know what's interesting? You saying that makes me realize too, right? Like when we make the contract, original contract, it's our highest potential timeline contract, right? But obviously, everybody is always getting off the path and then course correcting and getting off the path and course correct. If we were following our original blueprint from day one, we would be living fucking easy. But we don't. We don't. There's the course correct, there's the challenge for a reason. So then I think about how this shit is simultaneously in real time consistently changing. Like your contract and the roles that play are consistently changing because you're only one fragment of who you are. So your higher self is still up there going, ah, fuck, she found this detour. So now we got to rewrite the script to get her back to the original plan. So that's crazy. It's like fucking, I mean, time isn't linear, right? But like, we're always playing with the, oh, call in this relationship villain. We had him in the background. Bring him in, bring him in. Like she ain't, we got a course corrector because she's not listening, right? We need to do it hard. Um, but all in divine timing, as we always say. So, yes, your intuition was telling you to leave earlier, but there's a reason why you didn't. And it's because you needed to learn a bigger lesson. And, you know, whatever that lesson is, if you figured it out or not. Actually, I think we did together in the car after that sound journey. I don't even remember
We,
what I said to you, but I
I
remember I
do.
said something and you were like, "Oh fuck."
My last relationship, as I've mentioned before on previous episodes, was with a man who just had very narcissistic tendencies from Southern California, entrepreneur, see, like that type of energy. Where it was, I think you kind of have to have that level of ego to be successful in that environment. And I recognize
Mhm.
that. But I digress from that. I then, of course, am attracted to that to some degree. My father's like that. Like it just um, feels familiar. So I was able to really speak my truth and call out all of the times that he was gaslighting me and be like, no, you can't say that. No, you can't treat. But I'm not meant to be a man's teacher. Like that's so
Mm.
ick. And I think as young ladies, we spend a lot of our time in our dating years trying to train and coach and love and forgive and learn all the things about how to be good to men and Do they do that for us? No, they're given curriculum that is like how to play us, how to be, this like philanderer fucking douche. And I'm like, I'm just really grateful for the information we're given and the community we have. It's because of
Mm,
really strong, amazing, beautiful women who helped me get out of this situation. And they were honest and they knew it might hurt me, but and they, older and mature enough to know I don't want this kind of drama in my life. Well, I guess age has nothing to do with it. But yeah, love love my ladies.
mm. Well, you're back on your original blueprint, hopefully.
It really does feel like that. And I guess one thing that I wanted to talk about today was having your energy drained in
Mm,
situations like this. It was just such a clear reminder of those relationships or situations in which you're just being sucked dry. And it's really unfortunate because I think a lot of people are in like pretty serious committed things, and it's really hard to get out of. And
yeah.
like, how do you really tend to your energy in those type of dynamics? Of course, if it's abusive, absolutely leave,
Mm,
and that's a whole different scenario. But I'm talking about the ones that are a little bit more subtle, a little bit more. And I think it's because it feels so good and then it feels like so bad. And then you are able to recalibrate your energy on your own. But then it's just this vicious cycle of having, but at the same time, I was putting myself in the situation and I was willingly giving it. But it still doesn't mean it didn't suck to be like drained of my life
mhm,
force. So I'm definitely taking some time to replenish and find my little sparkle again. But I feel so different this time around. I mean, obviously, I've gone through breakups and have been cheated on and all that, like lied to. It's it's just feeling like I am so beyond that, and I really
mm.
don't feel like it's going to happen again. Like I really do feel like that was my final straw.
I get that too. And you look different.
Don't I? I know.
And like I know there's been a lot of transition out of things that don't align, right? So your old job, this old relationship,
Yeah,
where you're sitting at the podcast today
I
has
know.
even shifted. So
Wait,
I
we
just
both have a shoulder out, girl.
we're trying to bring the listeners in with our little shoulder. It just feels cozier, to have this shoulder out.
Dude, it
Um,
does.
but I'm glad that you can get that like core spark back. Um, and that does segue for me. And please stop me if you want to keep talking about that, but to dragon energy, because
Yep.
actually, of course, surprise, surprise, not only has dragons been coming to me in my oh my god, I didn't tell you about the synchronicities with the third synchronicity, which whew, that may be a little too personal, but I digress. Dragons have been
We're
coming in.
digressing a lot tonight.
I know. That fuck around and find out. Um, but in my classes with Kari, we're actually working with the dragons now, even though the dragons were coming to me prior to that, before I even realized that it was the year of the dragon. Um, and what I've learned through all of these facets is that dragons, I mean, I've always felt like dragons are like middle earth creatures, like core earth creatures. And that is the validation that I got as I'm learning all of these things, is that the dragon is the keeper of pri- primordial planet energy, right? So for us, it's earth energy. Um, and that's why in a lot of like fairy tales or stories with dragons, we're fearful of that because we can be fearful of primordial energy, that core earthly deep energy that is where the source of Earth's energy comes from. And they're here to embody that and protect that. And they also hold the cosmic egg, for us, our personal dragons hold our cosmic egg. And our cosmic egg, from what I understand, is your starseed blueprint, is your contract with your best outline. So they're going to hold that cosmic egg in, like, your starseed chakra. Um, and be able to connect it with the earth heart chakra to be able to drop that down. So I've been able to visualize my dragons, and I even have, like, the first one that came to me in my meditation recently was this little one nestling up around my root chakra and like taking a little nap and protecting it. But there's a couple of others. So really understanding that it's that Kundalini energy, it's that deep primal energy that some identify as like the, oh, what's the word I'm looking for, like the old, like, pattern behaviors, like survival pattern behaviors of what humans had in the beginning. And like that can be scary because we've learned and grown from that a little bit. But it's also what keeps us connected to the rhythms of the earth, what keeps us connected to the heart of the earth, what keeps us connected to our root, to our core energy. So being able to tap into that, call in the dragons, be like, let's fucking use this fire, let's utilize it. And I think the last thing I'll say, because I know you have something to say about the dragon, and I don't want to shift the topic, but I think the dragons in the paradigm we used to be, which was growth from suffering, or growth from pain, I should say, not suffering, brought a lot of that scariness, right? We needed to go through hardships to grow. That is still a possibility here, but our evolvement comes from creation now. So the dragons are holding that creatrix energy, that primordial energy
Yes.
of the creatrix. So let's use that fire not to destroy, but to create. And I want to talk more about that later, but I want to stick with the dragons for now.
I want you to keep going. That is resonating so deeply with me. And I feel like if you have more to say, please, I'm just rooting you
Okay,
on
well,
over here.
it kind of goes in a different direction. Something I mentioned to you last night, probably at like midnight. I just sent you this voice message because the algorithm gives you different things, and the algorithm now has shifted. For a while, it was like, spiritual stuff. Then it gave me like my vegan food stuff. And now it has shifted to one of my favorite fucking things in the world, which is watching people create. My God, how fucking powerful it is to watch people
Yes.
express through creation. So,
Mm.
specifically, like for me, specifically dance, singing. I shared one on our story the other day of someone doing like drum corps shit, and I was just like, holy fuck, the energy that you are putting out, the power you are creating, the growth and evolution you are creating in your own energy through this form of freedom of expression, through the core creation of this music hits, and I'm going to create choreo for it, and I'm going to teach it to somebody else, and I'm going to fully fucking embody it. Like, when you see dancers and they got the face on and they're like, beep, bop, ba-doo, blah, or like they're singing and you see their eyes close and they really sink in. It's literally, and I know I'm going to mention this movie and you're going to say, I've never seen it, but others have. The movie Soul, which, girl, you got to watch
Yeah.
it. When you come over for Valentine's Day, we're watching it together. But the
Oh,
concept is, yes, you can get into this space of the cosmos through meditation, but you also get it through painting, through creating music, right? And that's where you can access all this knowledge because you're having this freedom in creation. Oh my God, I can go on forever. I'm like, and which leads me here, but like that has been so powerful. And that is the energy of the dragon. It is that I don't need to look a certain way. I don't need to be a certain way. I'm just going to tap in and just let myself truly express this creative force. That's what's going to evolve your soul. That's what's going to fuel your soul. That is what your starseed blueprint, your cosmic egg is all about, because we grow through creation, through expression. We don't need to grow anymore through pain. Lessons happen when we need to course correct, but we push through the course through creation and expression, through the dragon energy, that Kundalini fire, but not out of anger, out of creation.
I keep drawing correlations to what you're talking about to my like very real scenario that happens to way too many people of all genders or non genders. And what really is standing out to me is the inspiration to create and to not destroy, because I think so
Mm.
many of us are just, we want to see some kind of revenge, we want justice, we want to, and it's not about that anymore. And I really feel so strongly the need to mention that, because retaliation, it is going to hurt you just as much as it hurts the other person, especially if you have Scorpio in your chart. um, but I'm feeling really inspired to create movement and dance and trance for men who are suffering from porn addiction and sex addiction, because or any man who's willing to show up, uh, because it is such a problem. And I want my women or my whomevers to fucking have partners that are on their same level, because we're just witnessing so many women grow and evolve, and we need the masculine, we need,
Mm.
I'm just so sick of the masculine feminine, but it's like partnership, right? And the beauty of partnership, and when you come together and create as two people, I think so much more is possible. And I think that was one thing that was so appealing to me about this man, was like, in my vision of the reality I created of our relationship, we were like this power couple, right? And that's really what I'm creating in my life. I'm manifesting that, and it is already here. I just had to like scoop from this situation over to that
Mhm.
one. So I guess I feel called to bring up the power of co-creating. And
Mm.
so many of us are just kind of relearning what it means to be in partnership and break the molds that have been programmed into us. And we've come a really long way if you think about it. If you look at it like by decade, if you just summarize sort of the dynamic of the traditional relationship, I think it's so beautiful that many of us who have recognized our sovereignty are able to love who we love, period.
I love the concept of co-creation. I think we should, for example, a piece of me running the school is giving tours to interested families. And a main core piece of our school is collaboration and co-creation. And the concept that I really talk to the parents about is that we need to teach the next generation that this world is no longer working with one person in charge. It requires collaboration because no one is perfect. We are all people of strengths and challenges. So, where I have my strength, someone else has their challenge, and I can offer my medicine, my help, my support, and vice versa. And when we can own our strengths and challenges and say, this is what I can offer the community, and this is where I need the community to offer to me, right? We can start to work harmoniously. That's where the co creation comes. And that happens even in relationships. Andrew and I have been working on that a lot with what we've been going through is how can we offer what the other person needs, but also, like I said last time, where do we need to invite more of the community to offer that support? And that's how we co-create our reality. That's how we co-create projects. When we're doing things like expression to tap into that dragon primordial energy, yes, we could do it on our own, but how beautiful when we get to experience someone else's creation, when we get to say, that's why we buy pieces of art. That's why we go to see concerts and shows and watch movies, because we're a part of someone else's creation, a part of that primordial energy. Sadly enough, consumerism and capitalism has pulled away the energy behind it, because once we start using it as a fuel of money just for a job to survive, we lose the creation piece because we're doing it out of routine, mundaneness, and survival, out of pain, not out of creation, out of fear, not out of love or light, right? So when we're able to step into that modality of I'm coming from a place of just pure creation, and if that brings me absolutely nothing but joy, then it's worth my time, right? And also recognizing that we should not be carving out times in our day that this is the time I get to be creative. Similarly with living ritual, it's living a creative life. It's bringing the lens of curiosity, critical thinking, um, inquiry, collaboration, co-creation to everything that you do in order to bring your starseed blueprint, in order to bring your dragon energy up and into your reality.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all ready to release the shame and guilt that's sort of been like underlying of the booking out time to be creative, or you have to do it in
Mhm.
this format or in this way, and recognizing creation for what it really truly is in all of the different forms it shows up. So thank you for like giving us more examples of it, because I think our minds have been so limited into like what it could look like.
Mhm. It's frequency to form. That's what that creation is. It's taking that energy, that primordial source, that intention, and bringing it into some kind of form, whether it's artistic, whether it's a project, dance. It's taking frequency to form.
Or even just the practice of holding space for one another is a way to
Mm,
create. And just playing with energy is another fun way to create, because that leads, it really can influence so many other areas of your life. And when it comes to co creating with someone else, it's so fun to play with energy together. See, that's what I've been wanting to teach Tantra for how long. And I felt like I just kept getting distracted with this succubus relationship, and I'm like, I feel it. Hold me accountable, people. Like, you want me on here doing this, right? Like, not here right now, but I'm like,
mm.
I'm gonna I really do feel called to teach again. So I guess when you put it on the internet, you have to do it. Like, remember when it took me a really long time to clean out my
To clean your
closet?
closet? That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh. But it comes, that's the same thing I was just saying. It's a like, I'll do that when I do this.
Mm,
I'll start doing that. And just the other night, you said to me, just start doing it.
yeah.
Like, do it. Just do it.
You know why? Because we become attached to the outcome. So it need right? Or when we start creating, we feel that things are permanent. We become attached to what we've created. Something that I just said to Victoria, I made my website for my tarot card readings and intuitive readings and other services that I provide. Divinelysourced.org. Check it out. Um, I made that 2 years ago, and I have what people deem rebrand like 3 or 4 times. It was not a huge launch. It was not a big just one day I just went on and I was like, "Bah, I don't like these colors anymore. Bah, I don't like these fonts anymore. Actually, I want to do this layout." And it feels so good to have the freedom to not be like, "Oh, I have to launch this thing and I need to make sure it's perfect." Like, it's never perfect. It's always a work in progress. I am always growing. My energy is always changing. Why the fuck am I going to put myself in a box and say, "It has to look this way and stay this way because that's the brand." Fuck the brand. I'm the brand. Okay, bitch? I am the motherfucking brand. And if I want to change what the logo looks like, I'm going to change what the logo looks like in the middle of the fucking week for no godforsaken reason. And I'm not even going to tell anybody about it. You're just going to hop onto the website and be like, "Am I in the right place?" It does say divinely sourced, so I must be. And it's given me that freedom of creation because I'm not, like you said, saying I must do this first before I'm allowed to have this. Fuck that. B, again, we create these boxes and labels and they only work until they no longer work. Then fucking change them, right? I saw this thing the other day and it was like, we are so scared to be wrong. When we're given a choice, we're so scared to be wrong. Wrong is a concept we've created. Morality is a concept we've created. That's not a fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, energetics are there, but we create the idea of what is wrong and right. Ultimately, whatever choice you make, the result is the same, and the result is self-awareness. One side you get dirty, one side you're pretty clean, but ultimately you learn about yourself no matter what. So there is no wrong answer. It's just maybe an easier or a harder path depending, but it's like whatever. Another thing I say on my tour, we always want to be right, we always want to be successful, but not at the detriment of what could be. Find your box and push it. Push it as far as you can go until the walls shatter. Then you backtrack and go, whoop, went a little too far. Literally nobody cares, I promise you. You care more than anybody else.
And it's important to really reflect on what you care about. Like, are you caring about the things you cannot change and will never be able to change? Are you caring about how you feel about the things you can't change?
Hmm.
Did you
Yeah.
know? Okay, you know I love me some Molly McCord, astrology,
Mhm.
amazing, amazing podcaster, astrologer. She was talking about the history of Valentine's Day and how it was actually just really cringe because they would basically like beat women into submission to get them to procreate. And it was sort of this like fertility ceremony. And then, of course, she had to make the comment that it just led to a bunch of Scorpios being born. So
Is
shout
that
out
why
to
they're
the
so pissed?
yes.
So how
It's
about this? Let's
yeah.
take Valentine's Day and switch it to self-love.
Oh, I always have, and it's actually one of my favorite holidays. So I think this is something that I'm seeing so much where it's like changing the meaning of it, but the meaning of it meant something different like hundreds of years ago. And I don't know, there's just this whole like switch up for people and what
Mhm.
words mean. And we love
Mhm.
our words, we love our dictionary on here. But that comes back to the whole like creatrix energy in that you get to make life up to a certain degree.
Mhm. And I mean, a lot of these traditions that maybe weren't great, the actions they were taking, right? Let's say, I don't know, lighting a candle for something fucking crazy, right? Like the act of lighting the candle in that ritual, some of us run away from because we're like, oh, it relates to what this meaning was that I don't align with. But it's your intention that you put behind it, right? So Valentine's Day had a terrible meaning. You could decide that that's not for you, and that's okay too. A lot of people are like, "No, I don't like Valentine's Day." It had a terrible start, and now it's just pretty much commercialism. Um, but can you reframe it if you want to be like even in my relationship, Andrew and I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day just because it's Christmas, my birthday, Valentine's Day, our anniversary every single month after each other. But I was thinking about it, I'm like, what if we just take a whole day where we both intentionally self-care, and that could be
That's what we're
together.
doing. That's what
Well,
we did.
you and I are gonna. Well, yeah, that's what we did, even though it didn't happen yet. But like you and I, we'll come over. We'll use the little massage gun. We'll cook dinner. We'll like do whatever it is. Maybe a little self-love ceremony, which is what we're gonna be doing on Saturday, and then we're gonna be recording the next day. So I'm so excited to share that with you guys. We'll be with Megan and Eben, who we interviewed in I don't know what episode, but season 2. And they're going to be leading a beautiful ceremony with some EFT tapping and some sound journeying, all about self love. And I've been calling in that unconditional self love. And man, oh man, have been feeling it. I have been loving myself. I mean, I've been doing mirror work for a while, but every time I see myself, I'm like, girl, look at you. Look at you, you little
Hmm.
fuck. Or even when I'm alone, the energy of being alone is so crazy. Like, okay, this you, I brought this into this. I just realized that now I have it on the camera. I have a little stress ball.
Oh, I've
Maybe
been
that's
staring at it and I'm like, I want one too.
oh my god, it's amazing. I bought it for Andrew for Christmas because our friend had one and we were pegging each other with it. So now that's what we do. But anyway, um, okay, this is the opposite thought behind it, but same physical feeling. When you were a kid, or maybe now, when you turn off the lights and then you like scurry to your bed and jump up and you're like, because you don't want anything grabbing your ankles. I have that energy when I'm alone, but it's in a good way. It's not out of fear. So I'll literally, when I know that I'm going to be in the school office by myself because the other people are gone, today I went in, I went, oh my God, nobody's here. I closed the door. I ran as fast as I could, squealed, click heeled my feet, and then like sat down and was like, "Ah!" Like this self love is so powerful, y'all. Like just really accept yourself. I'm telling you, it's hard work. Game changer.
You make it look fun, you make it look easy.
not easy, but it sure is fucking fun. Like, it's serious and you don't have to be. I'm also like, you know what? And I'm not taking that back, but also like, it ain't that serious. Like when you're powerful, you know that your energy is powerful. That is a serious thing to mess around with and be careful with. And it's valuable and it can be sucked out. But even that's not fucking serious. That's just intuitive. That's just primordial. That's just who you are. You are fucking energy. You are fucking stardust. Scientifically, there are fucking multiple dimensions. You're all out there, bro. Like, it really isn't that serious. It's just quantum physics, which is just challenging to understand. The Matrix. That has to be another episode because we're about done.
And I was going to say, we're just here for the human experience after all. I mean, and
Hell
that's
yeah.
something that I keep returning to time and time again, where I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm here to like do these very humanistic things because I only get to do that kind of shit here. So let me be more human, right? Like, I think it took me a really long time to like, I always wanted to just like fit in and be a human.
I just want to be a human. Maybe that's what the
We are
next episode
humans.
is talking about the importance of being human and the matrix and the grid lines and the meridian lines and
And
the
feeling safe to sink into your body so that you are so rooted in your own integrity and truth you couldn't imagine lying to someone.
ooh. Okay, y'all, thoughts, comments, opinions. If you love us, you will comment on this video or podcast and say, yes, I do love what you're saying. We did fuck around. We found out. I prescribed. And now I'm ready for you guys to talk about the grid lines, earth, the grail paths, and all that shit next week. Click, 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 you know?
Okay, we are so done. I can't wait to see you soon for ceremony. I can't wait to see you next week to share what happened in ceremony.
Yay!
Until then, keep your heart open, chin up, love yourself, look in the mirror, make sure you tell yourself you love yourself, and do a little dance. Make a
And
little love.
oh, and get down tonight. Get down tonight. And my advice to you this week is fuck around and find out. Do 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 do.